You are tuned in to What a Baltimore Online Radio. Please note that the views and opinions expressed are of the host and not of Lady J Media. Thank you and enjoy the show.
I know you do. I know you do, because that's what I do. I give you that kind of love that makes you come back. I'm your pusher, baby. I'm your pusher.
Why do you like this? Why do you push a baby?
Hey, little black boy, let me holler at you for a minute. Cause I was once in your place. You should respect what I say. Some of the things I'm about to tell you just may save your life in the world right now. Much is right. Little black boy, you're gonna see and experience all sorts of things, but don't let your mind be locked in the chain. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Spitfire Poetry Shutdown. I am your host, John Hansboro. It is September 7th, 2022. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day thus far. I hope your holiday was great. We're still off to our second week of school with our children. I hope everything is going well there. Everybody go out and get your water if you can. Boil your water. Follow all those good instructions, you know. Today we have a guest on the show that came out to Spitfire Vibes and Verses last week. Tomorrow, September the 8th, Vibes and Verses is back on. It's every second and fourth Thursday. We're on tomorrow at 4000 Coolidge Avenue. Doors open at 7 and the mic is open at 8 o'clock. Get there if you can. You will not be disappointed. The mic is always hot at 8 o'clock. And this is where I met this young man at last week. Week before last. That was 2 weeks ago. But I want to introduce you all to the artist Mo Prophet. Mo Prophet, how you doing today, bro?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain, man. It's good to hear from you. So tell people a little bit about yourself, man. You know, what you do and how long you've been writing your poetry and your music.
So honestly, I do a little bit of everything. It started off, I've been writing since like second grade, honestly. And it was just a way for me to really express my emotions at first. But when I got serious about rapping, I wanted to do everything around rapping. So I wanted to produce, and then I wanted to engineer. I wanted to learn how to do all that before I got into it, so I wouldn't have to like rely on anybody, you know?
Right, absolutely. So you do you make your own tracks? Do you make tracks?
Yeah, most of my tracks I make myself. All of them I engineer myself.
All right. Well, like I was telling you before, the whole purpose of my platform, man, is to get people on here to express their talents and then, you know, spread awareness so we can all network and communicate together. So you said you've been writing since the age of basically since you were a toddler. You've been into writing music and writing poetry.
Yeah. The first song I ever wrote was like this little love song for this girl. I was kind of shy back then. I didn't really know how to I didn't know how to tell her how I was feeling. So I kind of just wrote it down, but I never got the chance to sing it to her. But, you know, my family really liked it. So
does writing help you in any way therapeutically?
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's like my only form of therapy, honestly. Well, I mean, talking to my friends, that's definitely therapy for everybody. But writing, like, it's also like, I feel like it's how I meditate too. Like, while I'm writing, I really just sit there and focus on just a certain topic, breathing. It's just different things, you know? It helps me get in my zone.
I definitely understand. And I too myself, I share that same passion where writing is truly therapeutic for me. I mean, really, really, truly is. I didn't realize it for the longest time, but once I was put in some situations that I was unfamiliar with and I didn't know how to handle as a man, my writing was right there to help me get through a lot of that stuff. Other than
Yeah.
my spirituality walk, the writing is really what helped me to be able to, because sometimes I don't even, sometimes you don't feel like getting into that spiritual realm as much as you want to, but it
Yeah.
depends on what you're going through. You know what I mean? You take one
Definitely.
day at a time, but with the writing, for me, that is something that I can go to as soon as possible, and it'll start to help me to get to the right mindset that I need to get to, man. So I definitely share that with you. I definitely understand. So look, let's share some poetry, man, for the people before we start getting into more about you. So you're a producer, you do your own music. Far as poetry, what would you say? Who was one of your favorite poets? Do you have one?
Uh, Favorite poet? Uh, I don't know. I wouldn't say like. So I see a lot of rap as poetry, but I don't see rappers as poets. You understand that? Like
Gotcha.
certain
Okay.
rappers, I
Right.
definitely say. So when I was a kid, like um Rakim, I definitely like got a lot from him. He was a huge inspiration. And then, it's just like honestly, I did a lot of the poetry when I was a kid. And I wouldn't say I had any like actual poets that are my role models, but I really learned from rappers that use words differently, that weren't just trying to entertain with it, that really, you know, took took the art, you know, and put
I
it out
definitely,
there. You
yeah,
feel me?
I definitely understand.
Yeah.
And Rakim is definitely a,
Shit,
a
Rakim,
he's a
MF
poet.
Doom. Sorry, I mean, yeah, I was just
Definitely, that no, you good. He's definitely a poet though, a MC, all of that. You know what I
yeah.
mean? The way he uses his words, him, KRS-One, Nas, like people like that.
Yes.
You know, they make me appreciate. I mean, I love hip hop. Don't get me wrong, but they really make me appreciate it even more. People like that who can, you know, expand their lyrical capacity and make your mind just go in a different place. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I think
Um,
it's strong if you can push a song out without the beat, if you can rap that a cappella and people
uh,
still really feel it, I
right.
think that's strong right there.
Definitely is. It definitely makes a statement during that. Definitely. So look, man, let's go ahead and get into something, Daniel. What you want to do first? You want to do any poetry first, or you want to recite any of your work that you've already, like your songs or whatever you want to do?
Oh yeah. So like I said, a lot of the poems I did, I was younger. So I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of corny to me now. I wouldn't want to perform right now. But I do have like a couple songs that I would consider to be like poetry if you take the beat off, and
Absolutely.
I do a couple of those.
That
And I
sounds
can
good.
start with
You
one
go.
right now.
Yep.
So I call this one Downpour, and it's on my only mixtape I dropped. It's called Motel 7. And it go like this. Hey, I asked the Lord to let the rain pour. I asked the rain to cleanse my sinful nature. Look, I see the light soar. That's cloud roar. That thing roar. Open up my cloud. Start the downpour. You poor boy. What the fuck you down for? You don't know what I had to do to make you smile, boy. You
Mm.
don't know how heavy lies that head that wears the crown, boy. You don't know, but you think you know. You think you know. Looking out for your ego, and so I got to tippy toe like, oh, keep it slow. Where else am I supposed to go? Rap's the only place I know. So I let it flow like how them poles blow when they near my hood. No, it's never good. Wasn't meant for bro. His gun is understood. If I could go back, I would. If I could go back, if I could go back, I tell my story in another way. And I say the day by let but whew, I'm so sorry. Hold up.
You
Let me
good,
get
bro.
some
You
water
good.
real quick. I keep I keep tripping on my tongue. Sorry. A little bit of cotton mouth going on. My fault. I should have drank
You
water
good,
before I
bro.
started. All right, I'll bring it back a little bit. If I could go back, I would. If I if I could go back, I tell my story in another way. And I say today by finding ways to throw the bombs away. And I help y'all throw away the K's. And I execute the triple K's. Niggas never been awake. Hey, they been sleeping every single day. Know the times change, so they think that they can run away. Your day coming. I don't say nothing. Cause that pain don't hit you till your brain fussing. So to the same thing, tell you go gain something. You ain't even gonna change. I ain't even gonna front. You can eat the same thing for breakfast, dinner, lunch, and it'll start to taste plain with every single crunch. But at the end of the day, it's still gonna fill you up. So are you gonna keep the same or are you gonna switch it up? Tell me something, man. Look, I asked the Lord to let the rain pour. I asked the rain to cleanse my sinful nature. I see the light soar, that thing roar. Open up my clouds, start the downpour. Yeah, that's downpour.
Downpour. Wow. And so, okay, downpour. First of all, I like the name of that right there, right? Um, but what inspired that? Talk to me about what inspired that. Why you wrote that?
Huh. So man, like honestly, that is the last song on the tape I was talking about, Motel 7. And the
Mhm.
idea of that like mixtape was just I used to do a lot of like writing lyrics and then changing them up just so they kind of fit. Like I make sure that people hear my message, you feel me? And people wouldn't try to label me as a certain kind of rapper. Cause I feel like I'm a really aggressive person just off rip. Like I try not to show it as much, but in my rap, like it's gonna show. You feel me? And
Right.
so when I was a kid, I would try to like cover it up a lot because I didn't want to get labeled as like a gangster rapper or anything like that. But with this mixtape, I kind of just got over that. And I was like, I just got to say some shit. So on Downpour, that was like that beat right there. That was honestly just trying to wrap up the whole mixtape. Like that was me putting my whole soul down on the beat. Honestly, like if this was a track where I could just say whatever I want, then in this tape, I'ma just like speak on the realest shit to me. You feel me? So it
Gotcha.
talk a lot about like just shit that I go through, shit that I experience in my life.
Okay, so okay. So you just said something to me that resonated. You said a few things, but the first thing, all right, so I remember I'm an older guy. I'm 47 years old. I know that you're a younger man. I remember when we met a couple of weeks ago, right? So a lot of people, um, well, let's just say this. It really stuck out to me that you said you don't want to be labeled as a gangster rapper. You know, I'm guessing you want to be known for your lyrics and the message that you're putting forward to people, which I think is awesome. But for a lot of artists your age, that's shocking to me, honestly. You know what I mean? And I think that you being that way is one thing that makes you stick out. Like when you were in that room that night, all of us have something about us that just shines. You know what I mean?
Right.
But through our conversation and seeing your performance and things of that nature, and listening to you right now, I definitely understand that you take this serious and you don't, you take your lyrics seriously about what you're saying. And from some of the artists that you name, man, like first of all, what like have you done research on somebody like Rakim? Because I
Man.
know he's a little bit past you know what I mean, before your
Yeah.
time. So is there anyone
So
in your family that's in the music as well?
yes. So for everybody in my family's in the music. Like
Okay.
my uncle is actually a rapper in Dallas, Texas. I don't know if you heard the name Poker Face, but he did his thing in Dallas for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
My father, he traveled around with a little singing group. Unfortunately, I didn't get his voice, but my dad was actually the one that had me sit down and actually do research. Like I had this book. I wish I could find it, man. But there's this book that I used to have that I would just write down like Rakim lyrics, MF Doom lyrics, and he would make me like underline the rhyme schemes and just shit like that, just so I could pay attention to what they're doing. You know what the greats are doing. And he used to
Wow.
listen to. He listened to everything. I really, my parents like I really got a great experience of life. I feel like because I got to see it from a lot of different sides, just for how my life is set up. Like, um, I am mixed, even though it don't really show. My white side of my family is in my life a lot, so I do get to see like I get to experience life, different ways, and I am,
Mhm.
I'm really grateful for that, and it really shows with the music. I feel like.
Definitely, definitely. Well, I'm interested in hearing something else, man. Whatever else you want to spit, let's go right on ahead with it. I know the people want to hear it.
All right, but all right. Hopefully, I won't mess up on this one. It's called My Explanation. I'm gonna take a little sip before I do it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Listen, look. I got some big ass footprints to fill, made by these talented giants steady inclining up this hill of fame. And it feels like I'll never be the same. Like Dane, feels like I gotta change me and my name. Who's myself? Uh, really, nigga, tell me who's myself. Yeah, nah, fuck it. Acceptance is the worst mistake I ever made. Right next to breaking your heart, I tear that shit apart. I should have stayed, but let anxiety get the best of me and made other mistakes along the way. Like that shit we did up in the dark. Now I gotta act like I don't know you. Like who that? I fucked up. I swear to God, once we was some cool cats. Then I lost my girl and my sister. Now I'm trying to get the two back. But I know I can't, and it's too bad. Why you do that? I cut her off, and she too mad. But situations get flipped like do rags, and now we sit divided on the bus. Wish we had the whole crew back. Decisions was made, connections were saved. But in order to do that, I had to throw relationships away. And it's unfortunate I had to do this. But just know one thing, I really miss calling you my sis. Moving on to the part of the song where I tell you the reason why I'm so independent. We ain't speak for so long, and he pushing it on. Nothing good ever comes from being dependent. So fuck it. I'm moving along in my own intentions. Keep the balance so my grades are slipping while also taking time to shoot practice on my shooting position and working 2 jobs so I can finally handle my business. Did you pick up on that sentence? Your boy is busy living life. So give me patience because I gave you mine plenty times. For this album, you ain't really care about my rhymes. Now every day you ask me drop a line on the dump. And to be honest, man, that's all I ever wanted. For people to show they care about my lyrical content. And sadly, I let that shit put pressure on my progress. Start moving backwards. It was fucking with my process. I
Mm.
forgot the reason why I do this music. I do that shit for me, and that's the truth for the truest. I hope that you can relate so I can help you going through this. That at the end I rap so I can cope with life bruises. This is my explanation for all the people that's been waiting to take coming. Just give it time.
Then that's
Yeah.
the explanation. So basically, that's you're saying that's an explanation for why you write and why you wrote that basically too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was like um that entire like song, like just writing is explaining why I wrote the song.
Mm-hmm.
Cause back then I had dropped a couple songs, and I wrote in high school, and I dropped a bunch of songs and people was really liking it, and then a bunch of stuff started happening, and so I kind of like slowed down with like dropping music, but I was still writing like all the time, and then everybody just kept asking me about it, so I made that song explaining why like it's taking me a little bit, but it's still coming, you know.
Right. Have you so when I saw you at the last Vibes and Verses that we did, the Spitfire edition, was that your first time performing?
Yes, that was my very first time performing my music.
Right. I remember, yeah, I remember you saying that. I
Yeah.
remember you saying that. And honestly, man, you're damn. So your what's the word I'm looking for? Your confidence, basically. Your confidence, like you couldn't really tell that was your first time. You know what I mean? You wasn't afraid to get up in front of anybody and do what you needed to do. And I feel like that you're confident in what you're saying and what you feel, right?
That's
Um,
awesome. I
but
really appreciate you saying that because I felt like I looked nervous as hell on that stage. I don't know why. But honestly, sometimes I feel like up until the music start, I feel like I'm nervous. But then when it starts, I feel like just something take over me.
I definitely understand. Trust me, I get it. my wife sings, and people would not people wouldn't believe me if I told you some of the things that go on before she sings, that me and her go through, and like routines that we talk through and do. And then when she gets up and starts singing, it's like nothing, like it really is like nothing ever happened. You wouldn't even realize it. But with your writing, though, and your confidence in your writing and performing it, because like I said, for your first time, man, when we saw you perform that, I loved it, and the crowd definitely, you got a good reaction from them. Um, but what is it like for you to be able to create and put this stuff on paper or put it down? It's so many people, man, who have a gift of writing, and they're stuck in a place of where they can't put it down, they can't get it out, especially a lot of young people. I noticed some of them, they can't, put it together or put it in the right words that they want to put it in. And when you have a gift of being able to write and make people feel the words that you're saying and that you're doing, what does that do for you when you read over your stuff? When you reciting your stuff and you going over it, your own message, what does that do for you?
Well, for me personally, um, it helps me just because like I write it down so I could get it out, if that makes sense. So a lot of times, like when I was
Absolutely.
younger, I didn't do a lot of going back and looking through it and like re-rapping or anything like that. I kind of just like throw it out on the paper and then just lose the paper at some point, you know.
Right.
But as I got older, like I've always had a list. When I was a kid, I used to get a lot of like ear infections and stuff, and so the doctors used to say it might be because of that. That like I used to have a couple like speech impediments when I was a kid, and so I have a constant problem feeling like people don't really understand me, like they don't fully understand what I'm trying to say, the point I'm trying to make, you know. So,
Right.
and that's also partially because I do speak way faster than I think a lot of the times. So when I'm writing, I get to slow down. I really get to think about like what I'm putting down. So when other people come and see it and give me good feedback, even if they like their feedback is like critiquing it, but they understand where I'm coming from. As long as they understand where I'm coming from, that's the world to me, you know?
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
just feel
It's
my
it,
message.
right. Now, who influenced you again to listen to some of these other um um poets back in the day that did music like Rakim and things of that nature?
Yeah. Mhm. Mainly it was my father, honestly. Now, like now, it's a lot of my uncle doing it, but I didn't really have my uncle in my life like that when I was younger, just for different reasons. So my father, he would do a lot. I just like he used to play songs in the car all the time, and would just stop the song afterwards and ask me like, "What do you think that meant?" Or like sometimes halfway through, he'd be like, "Are you paying attention?" And I'll be like, nah. He was like, all right, pay attention because I want to talk to you about it afterwards. Like, I don't know if you know this dude. He's from New Jersey. His name Mir Fontaine, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, it's one time we were driving home from school, and my dad, he put on a song, and this time before he started it, he was like, I want you to listen to this song and tell me what you think is going on afterwards. This is like one of the first times he did it like that. Like usually he'll catch up, get a part that catch him, and then he'll like stop and go back, ask me. But this time, like he played it all the way through, and the entire song is written backwards. Like he's telling a story in reverse. It started off, I woke up on the ice cold ground. I got a hole in my chest, dress prints across the brow. Somebody had demi foul. As I rose from the ground, the bullet exit out my lung and traveled back into the gun. Like the entire like it's so the idea is he died that day making like trap and making his sales. And so when you die, you see a life flash before his eyes. So he's seeing that day like flash in reverse, and he was rapping it in reverse, and it was just like it blew my fucking. I'm sorry, but it
No,
blew
you
my
good.
mind.
You good.
Yeah, I
Right.
appreciate it. But it just really blew my mind when I heard it, and like he just did a lot of shit like that when I was younger, and it really did help me. I used to listen to like UK drill because of him, like dubstep, which helped my producing. Like he really listens to everything. And everything he don't listen to, my mom's side listens to. So I really got all that.
I love it, bro. And shout out to your mom and dad for being such great influences in your life. I absolutely love this, man. I really do. Um, damn, I really do. So look, let's share something else, man. Whatever else you want to spit, let's share something else.
All right. So this one I got is called Black Heart. Um, yeah, I won't talk too much about it. So give me a second.
You said it's called Black Heart?
It's called Black Heart, yeah.
Okay.
I said here, I said here, I said here, I said here, wasting my time writing these rhymes, hoping that one day you'll see me as a star in the sky to guide you through the bad times in life and help you realize that tunnel's dark because the light is on the other side. You just gotta make it there. It's a tough journey, like how our people made it here. Through all the cuts and scars, physical and mental, to all the bleeding and pain and killing that they've been through, and you expect me to only celebrate 1 month of the year? Fuck that. They the reason I'm here. A funny mixed curly head kid with hazel eyes, light skinned mother and a wait. If it wasn't for the king showing black pride, or Mr. X showing that he's not afraid of death, or showing how to not get pushed around like Mrs. Parks, I wouldn't be here to show y'all my black heart. So I'm gonna fight the struggles off like I know martial arts, because that's what they did, making sure my life is not as hard. Bright stars making paths to a new start, with skies higher than the moon, so we reaching far, reaching high, future brighter than the blue skies, tearing open closed minds, showing people better times. Like, oh my, wishing I was still 5. Wondering why I thought being older would be the coolest. But I don't spit bars, I spit bullets to help you understand why I do this. I got the people going, goodness gracious, because I don't do this shit to be the greatest. I do this shit to be the God for my generation. Because isn't Jesus supposed to be coming back? And would police mess with me if I wasn't black? What's up with that? In the words of Ali, man, what's up with that? Hey, listen, I turned this beat on because I knew I had to write some shit. You get the street touch because that's where my heart lives. True shit. That's why a nigga heartless. I only feel for niggas sleeping on the park bench. You call them rappers, man. I call them walking carcasses. Because this ain't rap no more. It's just that market shit. Rap another song and fuck another bitch. That's the type of shit that drain your soul real quick. Because they don't put no real feeling in it. Every time I rap, I can help but pour mine in. Because I take pride in the truth. But y'all call it a sin, then Lord forgive me. But for real, on this mic, I'm a sin. Shit.
And that's Black Heart. What inspired that?
Man, I wrote that one so long ago. I can't. So there was a part in there that I didn't like rap about just because it was like a little too personal. Like it was a little part where I stopped. But it was some stuff going on when I was younger. I used to go to like this really predominantly white high school. Mainly, I went to like white schools all my life except for college. I decided to go to HBCU because I wanted to get away from that, experience life in a different way, you know?
Right.
But yeah, growing up, I went to a lot of white schools and I had like a lot of white friends and shit. And around the time that I wrote this, was like the first time I got stopped, like racially profiled, honestly. I think it was like my first year in high school. And like I went into a store with a couple of my friends. It was me and this one girl. We were the only black ones there. And they were all trying on hats and all this stuff. And I was like sitting there chilling in front of the mirror. She was like taking pictures of me, right? We leave out the store and the security comes up, stops me and her, nobody else, and like searches our bag and everything like that and make sure that we ain't steal nothing from the store. And like at the time, I'm not the type of person to like, you know, make a big deal out of anything. She was blowing up. You know, I was really trying to calm her down and tell the officer, like, you know, we'll do whatever you ask or anything. But that was just like one of the things that was going on at that time where I felt like I really needed to speak on like who I am as a person, you know? Like I tell people that I got a white side in me all the time, and people always coming at me like, I say that because I'm not appreciative of my black or like my family and shit, like where I came from, you know? And
Right.
it's like I say that because it helps me understand a lot. Like you know, you got to understand your enemy. I'm not trying to say like enemy or anything like that. Because you got to understand their mindset. Like you got to understand how all things are going. If you really trying to fix the situation, that's the only way you can really do it. Is help them understand it. So when I say I'm white, like I had this white side in me, it's really because of that, and a lot of people taking it the wrong way. So I really just needed to get that shit out. Like I just needed to speak on who I was for a second. Like I said, there was parts in there that was just a little too like deep for me that I couldn't say right now on the podcast. But yeah, that's basically where that came from.
Now, going to these schools, did that shape your mindset into some of the things that you have written? Like, have you written any other things that's based on, because we've seen a lot the last, like, I mean, God, I'm
Yeah.
47. I remember when I was a kid when Rodney King beating was going on and the big deal, the whole deal over that. Um, Do you have anything that
Nothing
else
changed.
that's like geared towards something like that where you were expressing yourself because I got a few myself. I understand where you're coming from.
Like any
Being as
more
though some of the
peaceful
young
work?
men and women were getting murdered in Baltimore. I have wrote something called Little Black Boy. But
Okay.
do you have anything else that you've written where you're just, you know what I mean, where you're releasing your feelings and just expressing yourself in that way?
Yeah. Um I wasn't gonna do this because this is
You still there, Prophet? You still there? I think he may be having some difficulty. Prophet, you still there, bro? Wow. We're gonna give him a few minutes to come back. He's blowing my mind, man. I love running into these young people who have such broad and it I'm gonna be honest, man. It gives me hope, honestly. I'm gonna be honest with you. It really does. Some of the stuff that goes on and with our young people, it puts me in a weird place sometimes, honestly. And it's refreshing to be able to have a conversation with this young man. Not only him, I've had a few young people on here who just seem to see things differently, who seem to like actually get it. I don't but like I said, I met this young man at Vibes and Verses every second and fourth Thursday, guys. 4,000 Coolidge Avenue. If you can get out to Vibes and Verses, you definitely want to do that. I'm telling you. Shout out to my team, The Table. Um, you want to follow Shamice Jacobs. She's always updating everybody on what's going on at C Roses. Prophet, you back, bro?
yeah, I'm so sorry about that, man.
You good,
Um
bro. You good. Yeah, you good.
technical difficulties. But so a lot of that stuff, there's actually a poem that I wrote called The Truth. Um and it was a lot about that. And it's crazy because I wrote it when I was so pissed off. And it was just like such a beautiful piece of work that I wrote. And I felt like it was just really, I just saw it as like anger when I first wrote it, And
Right.
and it wasn't until like I showed a couple of my friends that they started showing people and everything. And I really started realizing that it was different. It was powerful. And I wish so I used to go to this uh performing arts school for theater, and a couple of the kids there, they were into like directing and everything. One of them made me record my poem so that he could use it for like a play that he did for like his senior um it was like a final for his senior project.
Right. Got you. Right.
And I wish I could remember it. It was a little bit ago though, and I was just trying to look back on it on my notes. But when I did that, that's what happened. I got kicked off, so I don't think I can go back and find it for you right now.
I definitely understand, bro. It's all good.
Yeah, so
But
but I definitely like to show you that one on one because I feel like you would really connect with that one. Like,
yeah, Yeah, actually, man, if you coming out tomorrow, you know Vibes and Verses is tomorrow. If you
Yeah,
coming out tomorrow night, please bring that with you, bro, because I would
most
love to
definitely.
hear that.
I actually wanted to talk to you about that because I've been a little busy this week, but I haven't got a chance to talk to you about performing tomorrow. I wanna get up on again if
Absolutely.
that's
Soon as this is
possible.
over, we can chop that up. You can definitely,
Definitely.
if you come in tomorrow, you want to perform. That's nothing. That's what the open mic is about. You know what I mean? We
Okay.
want people to come through and do that thing. You know.
Great.
But I mean, okay. So like I was saying, when you was cut off, man, I was telling the people how it refreshes me to be able to talk to young people such as yourself who seem to see things on a different way, who got, you seem like you just, I like to call it, what do they call it? Like being old before your time or whatever. Like you've been here before type of thing. You know what I mean? You know how the old people say
Yes,
that
I
stuff.
have heard that a lot. But honestly,
Right.
that's thanks to my parents. I can't take any I can't take any credit for that. They raised me the right way. I can say that for sure.
That's what's up, man. You could definitely tell. I can see that in the way that you carry yourself and your speech and everything. So I know you come from good stock, man. You got anything else you want to share?
Um, not at this moment. I really wish I could do that one.
It's all good, man.
Yeah,
Like I
I'm gonna
said,
show you
you
that
can.
tomorrow though.
Yeah, if you can get out to Vibes and Verses tomorrow, everybody's 4,000 Coolidge Avenue. The doors open at 7, 8 p.m. The mic is hot and ready to go. We always have a wonderful time. The vibe is good in the house. It's always love. And all we do is encourage everybody who gets on the mic. Um, Prophet, I want to thank you for coming on, man. Tell the people how they can follow you and some of the
Okay.
services that you can render to them as an artist.
Oh yeah, so you can find me on really any streaming platform. Just MOEPROPHET. Prophet is like prophecy. Um, and then if you want to follow me, you can find me on Instagram at mo.prophet. And I just want to thank you for letting me come on here, man. I really appreciate it. This is really an awesome environment that y'all got going on here, and I'm just glad that I could be a part of it for real.
And man, I appreciate you, brother. And I'm glad you came on. And this is why we do it, man, to not only to help us, but to help others as well. Because I'm gonna be honest, this helps me just as much as it helps everybody else. This is why I do it. Poetry is everything to me, man. Everything.
Yeah.
Like everything. I live poetry. I really do. And I'm grateful that I have something that I can go to, you know what I mean, that will give me peace and solidarity at times when there's nothing but chaos going on around you, So I thank you for coming on, bro. You be safe out here.
Thank you.
Um, you also a producer, so tell the people how they can follow you on Instagram, Facebook. How can we follow you?
Yep. Instagram again is going to be MOE.prophet as in prophecy.
All right. I appreciate you, bro. Hope to see you tomorrow night, man. Be safe
Most
out here.
definitely.
Let me ask you one before you go. What would you say to that young artist who wants to, be able to write and produce and do things of that nature, or not even that? They just have a dream, right? That they want to pursue, and they're young and they don't know how to even begin to start. What would you say to them?
Man, I'd say 10,000 hours of doing anything will make you a professional at it.
Mm.
All you
Say
need
that.
is
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
consistency.
Back up. Say that again. Say that again.
10,000 hours of doing anything will make you a professional. See, people always tell me I'm talented, and I don't do this for a lot of people, but my friends, I'll fight them on it because talent is hard work. That's all it is. The talent that they talking about, like with me writing, I've been doing it since like second grade. Like second grade, I wasn't good, but you do it for a while, you're gonna get better at it. The only talent is hard work. Everything else is skill, and skill can be learned. And that's what I got to say to y'all.
I
Honestly.
love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, bro. That was profound and perfectly said right there, bro. Man,
Thank
it's a pleasure to have you on, Prophet.
you. It's
Hopefully,
a
I can
pleasure
see
to
you
be here.
tomorrow night. You
Most
be safe
definitely.
out here, bro.
You too, man. Thank
All
you.
right.
Have a good
Thanks
one.
for coming on. I'm gonna stay in touch with you, definitely.
All right, bye.
All right, bro. Be safe out here.
Thank you.
All right. All right, guys. That was Mo Prophet. like I said, when he was having some difficulty earlier, it really is refreshing to me, man. It makes me feel good to connect with young people that way who just have a different outlook, man. You know what I mean? So I encourage him to keep doing what he's doing. You know, I love it. I really do. I really do love it. So tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow, September 8th, 4,000 Coolidge Avenue Vibes and Verses is in effect every second and fourth Thursday. You don't want to miss that, y'all. Come out, hear some good poetry. The mic is open at 8 o'clock. The doors open at 7. All right. You definitely want to be in the house if you can make that. Also, follow my brother George Jacobs on Instagram. Look out for his new project, Baltimore Bando. Listen, this is a gentleman right here who's serious about what he does. And like I say, I love to work with people who are serious about that craft because it does nothing but make you polish whatever you're doing. And you want to stay tuned for this, guys. This is a movie directed and written by George Jacobs. You can follow him on Instagram, I believe, at Gov300. But Baltimore Bando is going to be something very special. You don't want to miss that, so y'all want to stay tuned with that. Also, follow my sister Shamice Jacobs to find out what's going on with our next Vibes and Verses. And shout out to everybody who made it out to Guilty Pleasures last week. I heard that was a very good event. I'm sure they're going to be running that back again. Also follow my team, 4 authors, for all of your book needs. They can help you produce your book, put your book out. It's an all-black publishing company, and I know these people, and they're good people, all right? So if you got a book and you don't know the first thing about, putting it out or what to do with it, give them a call. Look up 4 authors on Instagram. They'll definitely take care of you. This show is brought to you by Butterfly Entertainment, Lady J Media. Shout out to Chaplain Dr. Lady J Jenkins. Thank you, Dr. Lady J Jenkins. I love the background, Lady J. It's absolutely awesome. I love it. I love it. Also, y'all, check her out. Every Saturday is community church. Okay. Follow What Up Baltimore. Follow Lady J, Charlene Jenkins, Dr. Jenkins. You want to make it out to the community church on Saturdays. I believe it's at 11 a.m. She's been doing that consistently every week. So if you want to get out and get a good word on a Saturday morning, you definitely want to follow What Up Baltimore. We're always sharing flyers and things of that nature so you can figure out where we are and what's going on so you can make sure you're in the house. All right. Stay tuned for the next show from Brother Chad coming up. Shout out to him. Yeah, man. Thank you all for watching. You know what I mean? This really felt good. Like I said before, I love talking to the youth. It gives me hope that we're, that we moving in the right direction because it's crazy out here. And I feel for these babies, y'all. I feel for the youth. I feel for our youngsters. I really do. So before I go though, I think I want to share something. So let's do, I don't have hunting season with me, but I'm going to do poetry is my therapy. Definitely, I'm going to leave y'all with that. All right. Poetry is my therapy. Poetry is my therapy. It gets me through so much shit. When I put that pen to paper, it gets me through so much shit. Pushing and pressing that pen, the ink is insulin. 6 units before breakfast. I got to count my carbs. I can't be reckless. I maintain a decent sugar level because if my shit drop, it could be detrimental. Poetry is my therapy. Back and forth to the dispensary. I need that right strain. What do you got for inflammation and pain? Terpene, limonene. I don't know what the fuck you mean. I want that indica hybrid sativa. I need it. That marries a cheetah because everybody see her. Poetry. That's my therapy. Something therapeutic happens when I go to create. It's just something about putting the right word with the right line to make them both come together like you and your partner at the very same time. 2 souls sharing the same vibe. Poetry is my therapy. I press every day. Giving up is not an option. A devil going down today. You know me and that nigga, we stay boxing. He got me on the ropes, but I'm guard body Ali. I hit him with the rope-a-dope. The champ is here, and I fight every ounce of fear. I just do it like Nike, the goddess of victory. You know he's in here, poetry. That's my therapy. Sometimes it keep me up at night. It's the little light in mine that keeps me up writing that one last line. I need it like the air I breathe. If I didn't have it, tell me, where would I be? I could have been serving the 1 to 3. My wife and kids could have buried me, but poetry is my therapy. I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. Be sure to follow that butterfly so you can figure out and know where What Up Baltimore is and where we landing at. All right. Thank you all for watching. Be safe out here. Be vigilant. If you want to be blessed, you must bless somebody else. All right. Stay safe. Boil your water. I can't even believe this is crazy. Boil your water, do whatever precautions that we need to do to keep ourselves safe out here, y'all. This is not a game, man. This is some crazy stuff that's going on. So stay prayed up, stay safe, stay vigilant. You want to be blessed, you must bless somebody else.
I know you do. I know you do, because that's what I do. I give you that kind of love that makes you come back. I'm your pusher, baby. I'm your pusher.
Hey, little black boy, let me holler at you for a minute. I was once in your place. You should respect what I say. Some of the things I'm about to tell you just may save your life in the world right now. Much is right. Little black boy, you're going to see and experience all sorts of things, but don't let your mind be locked in a chain.
Thanks for tuning in to What Up Baltimore Online Radio.